What's up, everyone? Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are when you're listening to this. Today, we're going to be speaking with Hitmasterfish. Man, this guy is very influential. A lot of students he's had in the popping scene that have really inspired a lot of other dancers. I know I was just speaking with Big Mike, and he mentioned when he met Hitmasterfish. I know Tavata. She has mentioned Hitmasterfish as a teacher as well. I believe Monster Pop as well is connected, but we're gonna find out. But I'm excited to speak with him and hear his story of his dance journey. So let me send this to him, and then we'll get started. All right.
Hey,
Hey.
what's up, player from the Himalaya?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you feeling? How's it going?
I'm good, man. I'm all
Nice.
right. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Okay. Well, man. Well, thank you. I appreciate you, finding time to do this, to share your story, share your journey. A little, I know I shared a little bit when I messaged you, but I've been collecting stories of different dancers from all over the world. A lot of street dancers, poppers, from the West Coast, from New York, from Paris, just all over the world, hearing their stories, how they started. And, I wanted to hear your story because your name was brought up. I've heard your name multiple times. I was just talking with Big Mike from New York, and
That's
he
my
brought up,
man.
yeah, yeah. He was
Yeah.
sharing how he when he met you and that impact. And then also Tavata from the Netherlands.
Yeah, I was
She
just with her last week.
Right. I remember she's brought up your name. And then I know personally, like years ago, when I was watching videos, on YouTube and Facebook, I remember there was a time where popping was very kind of it looked very the same. Like, there was a specific way of going about it. But when you showed up and when you would share and you would post it, were kind of more like, no, like you seemed to be different. You stood out and you were sharing a different approach. This was my perspective when I started to
Right.
see or hear about you.
Right.
So yeah, I would love to thank you again, for finding
No
this time.
problem, man. Now,
Yeah.
where you from?
So I'm a ridge. So I live right now. I live in Long Beach in California.
Okay.
I live in Long Beach. I grew up most of my life in Pennsylvania on the East Coast, and
Where where at PA?
Lehigh Valley, Allentown, like that
I
area.
know Allentown.
Yeah, so Lehigh
I,
Valley,
used- I
Allentown.
I I was living in New York and in Baltimore, so I know
Okay,
Allentown. Yeah, yeah. It's
okay,
like in the middle.
yeah,
In the middle. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then
I know Harrisburg,
okay, yes, yes,
Allentown. I
yeah,
know. Oh man, um, York, Pennsylvania.
yes,
I know a whole
yes.
bunch. I used to go to a lot of car auctions up there. I used to sell cars. So
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah,
Oh, nice. Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So Pennsylvania, and then I was born in Queens, New York, but again, most of my life Pennsylvania. So
Okay, cool.
yeah, man.
All
But
right.
but yeah, I would, just for anyone watching here right now, if you have any questions you like to ask, feel free. You can ask them. We're gonna just go through Hitmaster Fist's journey and how did he get into this dance and what did he see and just yeah, we'll just kind of go down the rabbit hole. And yeah,
Okay.
any questions from you, Hitmaster Fish, you want to ask me before we get started?
How long you been popping? Are you a popper?
So popping was the first street dance that got an interest in, and I was watching. And then over the years, I was inspired by different things like flexing in New York, and then I would get into the digits, like the whole, the tiny love digits and all of those things. Um, and then I feel like I kind of get a bit like just little pieces of different things and mixing it up and experimenting. So,
Tiny Love's a
I,
good friend of mine too. I love Tiny. Really dope.
yeah, nice. Okay, okay,
So
nice.
the interesting thing I used to tell Tiny the first time I saw Digits. The first time I saw Digits
Mm,
was in Gardena in '85.
really? What was that? How did you
I
find
saw
that?
Samoans. So I was in New York for a while, and then I came back to Gardena. And when I came back, I went to Perry Junior High, and
Mm,
I was battling a lot in school. And this big Samoan dude named Big Gus, we
mm.
got into a big battle, and he hit me with this digits, and I never seen that shit. I was like, what in the fuck is he doing? He said,
Wow.
boom! But he was animating them, and he was domino digits. He was throwing dominoes. So he would
Is
go
it
boom,
like
boom, he would
this?
go
Like oh,
boom, boom,
oh,
pow, boom, but he'd be
wow.
anime, boom. He'd animate with it. And I was like, oh fucking shit. Then come to find out, it was quite a few Samoans in my school doing that shit at the time. And
Wow.
I just came back from New York.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I had started
Wow.
seeing that, and it blew my mind. The way they was doing it, and I was like, oh, this just tight. It was tight.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
that's the stuff, man, that like I get excited to hear about because like it's like people wouldn't know these names or these things have happened because there's no unless someone talks about it, there's no content, there's no videos or anything of this. So
Nah,
like
nah.
that's I love it. I love to hear
That
the
was see,
stories.
Gardena is on the border of Harbor City and Carson. So
Mm,
in that area, is a lot of Samoans, and there was
mm.
a lot of Samoans popping at that time.
Okay,
A lot,
okay. Wow.
a lot.
So let's get to let's start from the beginning of how did you get into dance? What was your first introduction into dance? And I guess
Oh,
I know
that's a
popping,
good
but what
question.
yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I never got into dancing. Dancing got into me because
Okay.
I never had conscious of dancing. I've been dancing since I was 2, so I'm not aware of what I was doing. My mom told me. She told me
Hmm.
I was at a barbecue one time and I jumped off her lap. They put James Brown on, and I
Hmm.
jumped off her lap and I started doing footwork.
Okay.
But no one ever taught me. She never seen me dance or
Wow.
nothing.
Hmm.
And I've been pretty much dancing ever since. But my first dancing was like footwork. And
Footwork.
then maybe in the mid '70s or so, mid to early '70s, we was doing a lot of robot and a lot of social dances from that time. So
Okay.
in '79 and 46 in Normandy in LA in the Vermont district.
Hmm.
I used to live there right off of Normandy, and I used to see people popping all the time.
Hmm.
But I wasn't interested in. I was already a dancer, good, very good dancer. But
Hmm.
I would see guys at my elementary school, which was called Normandy Elementary,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
all my community, all my neighbors, everyone was pop locking. So
Oh.
um, one day we was on 45th and Hillsdale on my friend's porch, and Gary, who lived across the street from me, was like, "Yo, Fishy." They used to call me Fishy in L.A. Fishy, you want to know how to pop lock? I'm like, yeah, sure. And he started, going through the basics, boom, showing me shit, and I start popping, and I've been popping ever since. So
Oh.
about a few months went by, months and months went by, and I got better than him. So he
Oh.
started taking me on Vernon, different places, all up and down. Normally, I'm battling kids, and then I hooked up with a guy named James, and
Hmm.
he had an older cousin that was a badass popper named Vernon.
Hmm.
And James went to school with me, so we formed a group.
Okay.
So we had a group in our school. We didn't really have a name. It was just a little group we had. It was me, James, Raymond, and Donald.
Hmm.
They were
Hmm.
from different other communities, so they would bring different styles and moves to school, and we would bring what we had or what we were learning or seeing in our community to
Hmm.
school. So this is how our styles began to mesh.
I see. Okay.
So this is
Okay.
like fall of '79,
Fall time. Okay. Okay.
around that time. So fast forward 1980, I started seeing a change in popping. I started seeing,
You start to see a change, you said.
yeah.
Oh,
It's a big difference in popping from '78, '79 up until
what
'80.
what did it look like in 78, 79? What were people like? What did it look like? Hmm. Oh, okay. This swaying kind of. Oh, okay. Hmm.
Stuff
Very
like
like
that.
soft.
Then
Right.
you
Okay.
you know, but at that time, you had people waving and doing different stuff, but a lot of times stuff didn't hit certain communities until a certain time.
Right. Okay.
So because I'm learning now from talking to fellow OGs, and they would tell me they was doing trace waves and stuff for 78, 78, 79, 78. So they was
Right.
doing other styles, but
Mm-hmm.
around in our community, that's some of the styles they were doing. So
Okay.
when 80 start to hit, it's when I saw more waving,
Mm.
gliding, floating started coming.
Hmm.
In 80, 81 came, 82, you start seeing different types of touch, Bugs Bunny touch,
Okay.
King Tut, and different variations of styles, different types of animation. It just
Hmm.
kept piggybacking on and on and on until about 84 or so. But see, in
Okay.
83, I went to New York.
Mm. Mm.
Not the
Mm-hmm.
first time. My family, so I pretty much grew up in the Bronx and in
Oh.
Baltimore.
Okay.
So our family was always in New York. I've been going to New York since I was in the cradle, you know?
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yes. So I went to New York for the summer to visit my aunt. Well, no, 82. And I hooked up with groups, Mr. Freeze and
Mm.
Freeze Force and other people. I
Oh.
was in a group called Dance System 10,
Hmm.
and I started dancing with New Yorkers. So I'm gonna tell you a story. The
Yeah.
first time I went the summer of '82, and I'm in a building. Our buildings in the Bronx is 42 floors. Tower A, Tower B is 39 floors.
Hmm.
It's 12 apartments on each floor, so you can imagine how many kids. And
Right. Wow.
we all still friends till this day. We have our
Oh.
own page and everything. We have a building reunion every year. So
Wow.
um, I went, was at the playground, started playing with my Fish is back. Oh, woo, woo, woo. So they was taking me to everybody's apartment to let everybody know I was back.
Hmm.
So we were standing in the waiting for the elevator. There's about 4 or 5 of us. And I never forget it. I remember like yesterday. They said, hey, fish, you know how to boogie? Like, what the
Boogie.
hell is boogie? Electric
Hmm.
boogie, man. I'm like, what is that?
Right.
And they start popping. I'm like, oh, y'all pop a lot. So I start
Ah.
popping. Boom, boom, boom. I start hitting. They went, oh shit, that's the real West Coast shit. They grabbed
Wow.
me. Picked me up, picked my little ass up, took me across the street to a high school called Clinton High School.
So you're in. How old were you there? You going to a high school?
No, we went there. It was summertime. That's where we would
Okay.
go swimming and play. But
Okay.
listen, let me break
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
story
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when we get, I've been know about this every summer. That's where we go swimming and stuff. Okay, and we would
Okay.
play basketball in the gym and stuff. So this particular summer when I went back, what happened was they took me and we went in the gym, and I
Mm.
ain't never seen so many b boys in my goddamn life.
Wow. Okay.
And I've seen all these b-boys and boogiers and lockers and stuff, and they was like, "Yo, you got me, my man. We got my man here from California. Yeah, man. West Coast pop locker." And it's like, who? This little kid? They
Right.
was like pop fish. Boom, 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 boom. They went crazy. So they started running me around the Bronx. I'm getting in battles and
Wow.
I'm building a name. I'm
Wow.
meeting Fable. I knew Fable and Wiggles and Clown and freezing them since I was like 11, 12 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So,
Who were some of the, like, I guess, like the poppers? Because you're saying that it was electric boogie. Were people, was it more electric boogie than popping, or like in the New York at that time?
okay. So, in New York, um, they danced to breaks,
Hmm.
break beats. They didn't. People dance to funk, of course, but I'm talking about in terms of popping or boogie. They would dance to a lot of breaks. This is when the electro funk started coming in heavy a little bit, and then
Hmm.
it became electro. So
Hmm.
uh, they move a little different. They
Hmm.
didn't understand the whole concept of how to hit.
Hmm.
Most people, some people figured it out. Some people learned from people from the West. So
Hmm.
they would do stuff like this, or they didn't have that hitting or robotic hitting foundation, but they had everything else. Waves.
Hmm.
To this day, New York has the best glides I ever seen. And they taught me
Oh.
all these crazy ass glides, Clown and other people I was around, crazy ass glides. And when I went back to LA, well, Gardena, I was wearing people asses out with them glides.
Wow,
Really.
I didn't. That's interesting. New York had why New York, you think, had this essence of gliding? Because this might be off topic, but I even think of flexing. I think of like storyboard P. Like gliding is such a strong thing in New York, but
Always.
it's always
That's what they perfected.
glide.
Waving, gliding, and touch. Those three styles. It was other styles too, don't but those three styles kind of stood out to me as far
Interesting.
as the way New York would do their styles and moves and stuff.
Okay.
And they could robot. They could do pretty much all the style.
Right.
I'd say 95% had problems with hitting
Hmm. Hmm.
or didn't
Okay.
understand hitting.
Okay.
The way
Okay.
we approached it on the West Coast. But
Right. Okay.
as far as all the other moves and stuff, high level, bro.
High
Waving,
level.
tutting, high level. Glides, no one could touch New York till this day in gliding, except for the jukers, of course. But
Hmm.
like,
Hmm. Wow.
uh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it was
So,
really, really crazy. So
wow.
this
Oh,
we're talking
also,
about
yeah, yeah,
82,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
83.
Hmm.
Coming into 84. I did the one of the first hip hop documentaries, Beat This.
Okay.
Um, the history of hip hop, 1984. We filmed that in 83, and
Wow.
it came out in 84. But I was just running around New York performing. I did Funhouse, Madison
Hmm.
Square Garden. Funhouse was a big club back then. Red Parrot,
Hmm.
and a few other venues that we would do. I was down with a big group, and we had some really phenomenal b-boys in our group. So it was
Wow.
five boogiers
Hmm.
and five b-boys. We were called Dance System 10.
Nice. Nice.
You know,
Okay.
and we was
Okay.
in the northern part of the Bronx.
Hmm.
Meshulah Parkway, Jerome Avenue, Meshulah. New Yorkers know Jerome Avenue, Meshulah Parkway. That's where we were, with the four train lines. But uh, our two apartment buildings was the two biggest buildings in the Bronx
Hmm.
at one
Wow.
time. Not now,
Right.
but at that time, yeah. So I was just having a great time, and with the New York culture. And then in the end of '84, so I went back to Gardena, and that's
Oh.
when I went back home. My mom made me come back home,
Hmm.
so I went back home, and I was in the ninth grade, eighth grade, and then I did the ninth grade,
Hmm.
and it was popping at that time was trending in a lot animation, Like I told you, Deuce was doing finger digits. It was just a whole evolution of what was being done from 84, 83 on back. You know,
Mm.
because you had newer poppers coming in also. And
Oh,
then 86, 87, I moved back to East permanently.
oh, so you only briefly were back to California
Yeah, I
briefly.
stayed for about a year and a half and then left. We went back to East. We moved. We packed up and we left. And
Okay.
my mom moved us to Baltimore, and I was running back and forth to New York a lot, all the
Oh,
damn time, because I just love New York. So,
wow.
now the interesting story is this is 86. In 86 is when the popping started to go down. All of
Hmm.
the popping, b-boying, and locking was just
Mm.
starting to die. And the reason why is because hip hop was getting big
Hmm. Hmm.
and house was coming in now. Yeah.
Ah,
So in the
okay.
northeast part of the US, house was just huge at this time. 86, 87, 88, house was just running shit. All in the clubs, all in New York, Philly, Jersey,
Mm.
Baltimore, DC, Northern Virginia. All
Mm.
these all these cities were in the house and hip hop heavily. So what the
Okay.
summer of 86 or so, I went back to New York and they were laughing at me.
Oh, wow.
It was like, Fish, we don't boogie no more. We do
Wow.
freestyle. I'm like, what the fuck is freestyle? And they start doing the WAP
Eh.
and the Running Man and shit, you
Yeah.
know, because the music had completely changed. Funk died,
Right.
electro was fading out, and it was just well, hip hop had changed because in '86 you had Eric B and Rakim, KRS, Public Enemy. You had all these heavy
Yes.
sampling groups.
Right.
MC Shan, Marley Marl, all these heavy sampling groups that were sampling James Brown.
Mm.
And music was more of a flow of a bouncier rhythm to it,
Mm.
beat to it. So out
Right.
of that is you started seeing the progression of what we call hip hop. Hold on for a minute. I got to get my charger. Give me
Yeah,
one
yeah. No
second.
worries. No worries.
There is my. There it is. Here, take some more, Mimi. La 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 la. Alrighty. Let me see here. So yeah, that's just the one of the evolutions of me. I was like an early part a popper that went from the east to the west coast, back and forth a lot.
Right.
And I have stories and histories from both cities. So that's
Yeah.
pretty, and also Baltimore. So that's pretty much
Baltimore.
how I grew up. That's why when I pop, I got I got many range. I could pop the house, trap music, all types of
Okay.
music because I have a far range of cultural things that I grew up around. Like in Baltimore, they listen to a lot of house and club.
I
In
see.
DC too. New York, they
Right.
listen to a lot of hip hop and house and other,
Right. Do,
Philly, Jersey. So yeah, this is how I was able to uh, um in the 2000s when I got heavily back in the pop and I was able to move around and be able to carry my popping through different genres of music and
mm,
style and styles and stuff. So
mm. Man, I have a couple questions. I guess one question I have at the moment is where did the name Hitmaster Fish come from?
Oh, I made that name up in the 2000s because when I came back on the scene, no one was really hitting.
Oh, in 2000, that's where Hitmaster Fish.
Yeah, my name was always Fish. But I changed
Wait.
my pop name to Hitmasterfish because I was the master of hitting. You know,
Oh, okay.
and because in New York, as you can see, Big Mike and others, they just look at me like, "How is this little motherfucker hitting like that?" Because I'm a small guy, and they always,
Okay.
always want to know. I'm like, it's from the West Coast. If you couldn't hit, where I was from, if you couldn't hit, you ain't no popper. You might as well just go home. So,
Ah, okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So I see a
What?
question. Oh
Yes,
no, let me
yes.
finish your question. No, you go ahead, and
Oh,
then
okay.
we can
Yeah,
answer that
we're
question.
gonna get to the anyone has questions. I would like also, man, how did you in the West Coast did how do I say this? I feel like a lot of poppers they have groups that they're part in or teachers that they kind of follow in their footsteps of style. You know, like people may say taco, like people be like, okay, taco, like they kind of follow that lineage, or people may follow like, you know, electric boogaloo style, or you know, the strutting style. Do you find that there's a style that or a group that you have a lineage to or connect to, or you feel like you're your own movement in a sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but because to me, to me, it's like you're a unique popper. You don't look like a traditional, like you come from a certain group or affiliation, if that makes sense.
That and you know I have a lot of problems with that with the OGs because they can't identify with my popping. And let me tell you
Mm,
why. Because in the 2000s, I changed my whole format of popping. I didn't want to pop like in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, like most of the OGs.
mm,
I,
mm,
I, I created different styles of footworking, different styles of sacking, different styles of strutting, different.
mm.
So I would take certain moves and styles and incorporate it and put it into a newer form, which I call my 2000 styles of popping. So when a
Ah,
lot of OGs see me, I'm not doing traditional pop locking
right,
moves or
right.
movements. I progressed it into a whole new different style. So in the 2000s, we danced more with
Mm,
popping.
mm,
In the 70s and 80s, popping was not about dancing, bro.
mm.
It was about styles and moves.
Styles and moves. Okay,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
see.
we never was trying. If you watch footage of most OGs popping from the 70s, and you don't see nobody actually trying to dance
Mm,
or groove, so we
mm-hmm.
say today, you see people more trying to execute their moves and styles.
I see. Okay.
So when the 2000s came, when I came back on the scene, and let me go back. So when I went back, when I left Baltimore and moved back to New York in '02, I was with Jazzy.
Oh, okay.
I was hanging out a lot with Jazzy because he was from the West Coast, so we kind of connected. But I wasn't into popping shape at that time. I was just coming back. So
Mm,
Jazzy was breaking all the electric boogaloo shit down to me.
mm, mm, mm.
Because in LA, I never boogaloo. We always pop lock.
Pop.
Always. We was pop
Okay.
lockers. So
Okay.
um in the 2000s is when I started seeing, when I came back on the scene, all I saw was boogaloo.
Right.
So
That
I'm
was
looking
that.
around
Right.
like,
Right.
so when I came back to New York and I'm seeing all these Asians and different people popping, and I'm like, where's the popping at? All you see
Mm,
was people swaying, doing a boogaloo feel to it, and I'm like,
right.
what happened to hitting? What happened
Ah.
to robotic movements? What happened to gliding? What happened to these
All of
elements
that.
of popping?
Right.
And
Right.
so Mike and them and other people started seeing me doing that,
Yes.
sacking and strutting, but they didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Mm,
It wasn't until they watched the Wave Masters tape and they
mm.
saw um, the freshest kid with Mr. Animation in them,
Okay.
and they saw
Yes.
Slick Dog in the way. You know about the Wave Masters tape?
Yeah. I
So
think
they
so.
saw that
Yeah.
because I was wearing Dickies and stuff,
Ah, okay.
and it was
Okay.
like, hold up, that's the same
Right.
shit Fish be doing. Hold
Right.
up. So they would
Right.
come Tiny and and all of them would come and ask me, "What's this Fish? What's that?" And I start showing them stuff. This is this. This came from this. This is that. So,
Wow.
but they was intrigued by my hitting
Hmm.
because was nobody hitting, bro, at this
Interesting.
time.
Okay.
East
Wow.
or West Coast from that generation. Of course, OGs always hit. We OGs, we hit. But
Yes.
a lot of them, so when the newer generation was seeing me, they couldn't identify at first what the hell was going on. So they see animation banging and hitting and stuff because I used to always talk about we bang, we bang, we bang. And they was
Mm.
like, what the hell is banging? And I'm like,
Mm.
check this out. This is
Wow.
banging. This is hitting. This is robotic movements. You know, this is sacking. This is strutting. And I was just breaking them down. And then that's how I got into teaching.
Wow. So you brought a lot of information to the East Coast, breaking that down.
The 2000 era.
The
The young,
2000
all the poppers, they kept, started coming in the 2000s. Yes.
got you. Okay. Got it. Okay.
All the progressions of the poppers in the 2000s that started coming up. That was
I
in New York City at that time. Yes. I
okay.
was great. I was giving them information about certain styles of moves that we did in LA.
I see. Okay. Look,
Yeah. They
I'm gonna
already
get.
had the Boogaloo information from Jazzy. And plus,
Mm,
Jazzy was giving me electric Boogaloo information also.
you were okay. I see.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
you know, and so, but a lot of the kids from that time, they wanted to, boom, they wanted to know how to hit,
Mm,
how to bang and hit. So I was showing a lot of kids, you know, different movements, how to control their hit,
right.
robotic positions, so they won't look sloppy when they hit. And
Got it.
I used to go to the house dance conference.
Hmm.
Brian Green's house dance conference, and they all used to look at me like I was crazy.
Really? Oh
Yeah,
wow.
Jazzy used to come and say, Fish, do that gangster shit. Do that
Ah.
gangster shit. Because he knew he's from California. He's from LA area. So he's
I
from
see.
Valley. But he knew what I was doing. They didn't know what I was doing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh,
2, 3 years go by now, I'm in popping shape now. I'm back popping, full on fledged popping. And I'm hanging out in Union Square Park. I was a hairstylist for 16 years.
wow. Oh wow.
And
Okay.
so when I would get off of work, I just wanted my beer and my smoke, and I would be in Union Square. You know, I used to go to Broadway Dance Center and hang out with Jazzy a lot,
Wow.
but it became a point I stopped doing that. So I was hanging out in parks, and my students started bringing these Asians, Koreans, and
Mm,
Japanese,
right.
and I'm like, this was before I started traveling, so I ain't know nothing about none of this shit.
Okay.
And Buddha Stretch and other, you know, they started finding out about me stretching. My young group called the Atomic Hitters. We were
Mm,
hooked up, and we would be practicing sometimes and different things. But they would bring all these different people down in Union Square and they'd be like, "Fish pop." Now
mm.
I'm off of work. I want to chill. That was my safe haven. You know how you
Uh-huh.
get off work, you just want to have a beer,
Right,
relax.
right.
I
Just
would go
chill,
to Union
relax.
Square. I would go to Union Square, have my beer, and I would hang out to 10, 11 o'clock and go home at this
Okay.
time or go party.
Right, right, right.
So they bringing all these people around. They was like, yo, you got to start traveling. I'm like, what are y'all
Mm,
talking about? They was like,
right.
man, they need to see you around the world. You know,
Yes.
even Jazzy was telling me, yo, you need to go back to the West Coast, Fish, so they can see you. You know,
Mm,
you're doing something like really intriguing at this moment. So
right.
I met Mike. I taught Mike how to hit because he
Yes.
was so big, and I was like, dude, because he was doing all these waving and isolations and stuff, and I was like, Mike, check this out, bro. Hit, dude. I don't know you. Who are you? Who are you talking to? That's how he used to talk to me. And what are you talking about? And his wife was Kati. She was Taiwanese. And I'm like, no, dude, put your hands on the wall. Come here. Come here. Put your hands on the wall and just work your chest and your arms and your biceps and triceps. And he was like, he did it. He went
Mm,
home. He went home. I don't think I saw him for about a month. A month
mm.
later, he comes out of Union Square train stations running up to me. Fish, it works. It works.
I
And
love
he
it.
said, boom, boom, boom. And I was blown away. I was like, oh, shit.
Nice.
This guy
Nice.
can really hit now. Like he really been training. And
Nice.
then people seen Mike and they started seeing people like Ten and Oz Ninja and others. They started seeing them get better and better. So people started coming to me.
Right.
So during this time, I met a guy named Dazzle. He was from Montreal.
Hmm.
And he was like, nah, man, you need to come to Montreal and show them that gangster shit. And I'm
Mm.
like, so he brought me to Montreal, and that was my introduction to Green Tech Monster Pop.
Yeah.
That's when I
Oh,
started. That's when I started training them.
wow.
And because once I went up there, they weren't around at the time. It was a whole another group of people. And then the second time I went up there, I met Monster and all of them. But his name
Okay.
wasn't Monster. I named him Monster. Me and Chocolate.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was. What happened was he saw me banging the hen, and he was trying to pick it up, and he would go boom, 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 and Shakalak looked at him and said, "Man, he looked like a monster." And I said, "Yeah, that's your name, man, Monster Pop. You a Monster
Mon-
Pop." So I
Wow.
left, and when I came back, they was calling him Monster Pop. I was like,
Wow.
"Oh, you kept that name?" He was like, "Yeah, I kept it." So yeah,
Wow.
um,
Okay.
so that's how that all started. Then they got famous. Then I
Right.
got more famous. So
Right.
then
Right.
I came to Europe, and that's how it all generated. Generated from the core people in New York.
Wow.
But like I said, in '02 or so, I had to change my popping.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what I wanted to do. I just had to go to work
Mm.
and get with it. So at the time, it was footwork, animation, robotics, and things of that nature. But I was combinating with my footwork,
Okay.
animation of footwork and different moves and stuff. So my dance progressed, which is why I probably look more unique because I
Right.
changed my style of dancing from what I was doing from the '70s and '80s into
Mm.
2000s. I impacted my dance from a different mindset.
Maybe I didn't I skipped this or I didn't hear this part, but what was the shift? Why did you want to change it? Was there a specific moment or thought?
Um, some of it was from watching Jazzy.
Okay.
I didn't want to boogaloo,
Okay.
so I would like watch different movements, and I would watch some shit from the Bay.
Okay.
And I knew I'm footwork king. I
Right.
footwork. So I'm like, how could I incorporate footwork into popping? Like
Mm.
a far range of footwork, like to be able to do it from all facets, from
Right.
robotics, animation,
Mm.
gliding, from going from gliding into a footwork back into gliding. So
Mm.
I had to learn. I started. I just wanted to think new.
Right. Okay.
My mindset was new because I knew Boogaloo was old. I knew our style of popping was old, which I love. I love to see my brothers do all the stuff. I just didn't want to do it anymore,
You just right. Okay.
and I knew a new time was coming. Well, it was not coming; it was here. I knew a new time was here,
Right.
so I completely changed my whole way of thinking with popping, which is why how I came up with the newer version of what I do today. And
I
puppet, I love puppet style.
and
So I
puppet.
treated a animated mechanical way of puppeting, and
Wow.
then I created a puppet legs. So
Mm.
just different stuff. I was just thinking out there, man.
Yes. No,
And
I love it.
I just did not want to be stuck. Now, even now, it's 2025. I'm looking at the kids now, and I'm progressing. I'm
Mm.
still progressing. Like
Right.
people tell me I don't dance like I danced 10 years ago. It's more crisp, cleaner,
Mm.
and different things. And I don't put out a lot of videos or anything like that. But yeah, that's basically how
Right.
I came to that point in the early 2000s. Like I was like, I wanted to be different,
You wanted
and
to
I
be
wanted to take my dance a little further than what I was doing 20 something years ago prior to that time.
right. Okay. Got you. Got you. Then I'd like to go then to the question that Adrian Lobo was asking, which is, how do you feel about the use of the word pop lock versus popping, and do you see it as an umbrella term or a single style term?
Pop locking is a single style that's from LA. I repeat it. Pop locking is a LA based style, okay? A lot of the lockers was going into popping and they took some of the movements and the timing changed, okay? So a lot of people don't know this,
Hmm.
which is why I'm doing the lecture I'm doing, to get people to understand. When a locker comes into popping, so locker's point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I take this movement here, let me move it back slowly so it won't fall, so you can kind of see me. So y'all can get an understanding how this shit
Yes,
works. So if
yes,
I
yes.
go bop, 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 bang, bang, boom, boom. So poppers went pop, 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 pop.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, the difference is the timing.
Mm.
Locking was more of an up-tempo dance. Boom, boom, boom. Popping was more slow and robotic. So the timing is in between botting and locking,
Hmm.
the
Wow.
tempo
Okay.
of it. So if oh man, god damn. Let me see. Let me see here. So da, da, da. Let me see it. So a lockers went bow, 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 bow. Poppers went boom, 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 right?
Yes, yes,
Lockers went
yes.
whoop, 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 whoop. Poppers went boom, boom, boom,
Right.
boom. So you see but the rhythm was a little bit slower. The tempo was a little bit slower than what we
Yes.
would do when lockers would lock. When they would
Right.
lock, see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
lockers would go boom. We would do some of this. We just change it from pointing into a more of a rigid robotic movement instead of
Hmm.
going. So
Right.
it was a more in between the beat. The rhythm was in between the beat, the rhythm of locking and popping, or no, and robot. So because
Okay.
if you're robot, boom, boom. If I'm botting, if I'm botting, boom, boom. Now look, you see, I take the
Yes.
same moments and turn them into popping. Pow, pow, pow,
Right.
pow, bang,
Right.
bang. You see? Bam.
Right.
Now
Yes.
the tempo is not as fast as locking, but it's
Yes.
not as slow as robot.
Wow. Okay. That middle ground pop lock. Okay. Wow.
Yes. So I'm not saying any names, but it was a little meeting or so, and they said they was going to separate popping from locking, the words, because those are two different dances, which is true, but it's a slang. Pop locking
Mm.
is a slang, but it is a style. It was a style, and it
Okay.
was mostly based out of LA.
Got you. Okay.
And that
Got
style, I'm just learning this even more. It was started in Compton.
Oh,
Yeah,
pop lock.
pop locking, the name, the term, and stuff was started in Compton. Because they just
Interesting.
had a meeting. A lot of OGs, they had just had a big meeting a few years ago, not too long ago, and
Oh, wow.
they did research and they did history check amongst each other,
Wow. That's
and that's how
incredible.
they came up with. Yeah, I talked to them, and this is how they came up with the term pop lock at that time. So now
Okay.
we got more clarification of where it actually came out of.
Wow.
But as far
Okay.
as the style, yeah, the style of pop locking was an LA term, and a lot of people don't know it because you had lockers and stuff started coming in. No, it's no such thing as pop locker. And at the time, I let them go. We let them go.
Hmm.
Me and a few other people, I'm not saying their names. We let it go because we didn't want to fight that battle. We was fighting a battle between Boogaloo and the Poppy at the
Mm.
time. So we
Right.
wasn't going to fight the battle between the pop locker. So you had Pool Boy and others,
Yes.
talking and expressing themselves about the pop locking, which was good for the community and the culture. Pop
Right.
locking does exist, and it needs to be respected as its
Yes.
separate term of what a lot of other people were doing at the time.
I see. Okay.
So I
Got you.
hope whoever asked that question, I hope you ask that question that answers your question, and you can also confirm what I'm saying with other OGs from LA. A lot of them can confirm what is pop locking and where it came from. Okay.
Got it. Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. I like to ask because you mentioned the Wave Masters, you mentioned Slick Dog and such. What was your relationship with the dancers on the West Coast? Like, did you hang around a lot of, like, who did you hang around? Who were you?
Slick in the 2000s. Slick. Me and Slick became best friends, and we was,
Mm.
at one time I hung around a lot. You know, I hung around a few. Right now, me and Snap, Snap. That you need
Snap.
to interview Snap from Snap Crackle and Pop
Oh, I'm
from
not
LA.
familiar. No, no.
Yeah, Snap is 76, 77 popper.
Okay.
Triple OG. I can
Okay.
connect you with him. He's
Yeah.
busy a lot, but um, me and him are very tick a lot. That's the boy. That's the homie. Yeah,
Yes.
a few others. I don't hang out with because I'm always traveling. So
It was traveling.
yeah, I'm
Right.
always traveling. So I don't get a chance to hang out. Me and Wavo had a nice relationship.
Wavo, nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
No Bones Tyrone. I'm mad cool with No Bones. And
Nice.
quite a few other OGs. I'm mad cool with a lot of OGs on the East Coast also. Like Al
Okay.
Boogie,
Hmm.
Clown, and
Okay.
others, Some people I can Al Boogie is from the 70s from Boogieing.
Wow. Okay.
Flowmaster John.
Oh,
Um
yes.
um oh man, you got Locatron. You got
Hmm.
yeah, you got so many. Oh, you had Ronnie. His name was Fame. He was in Albion. Man, so many people, bro.
Wow.
So many
Okay.
people.
Okay.
But yeah, these are some of the people I keep in contact with. You know,
Okay.
sometimes I'm talking to Boogaloo Vic. You
Oh,
know,
nice. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
I'm randomly talking to different OGs a lot in different times. So from both
Yeah.
coasts, East
From
and West Coast. So
wow. Okay. What
I'm
you
cool
you
with a lot.
also you also mentioned was Baltimore. You spent time in Baltimore.
Oh, my whole life on and off. Baltimore and New York, mostly like all my life. My mother's
What
from Baltimore,
what was going on in
So I'm
Baltimore?
always in Baltimore. Oh, Baltimore, I know Baltimore as far as dancing, hip
Yes,
hop,
like
and house.
hip. Okay.
Because when I got back to Baltimore, Poppin had already died.
Hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
when I started going to high school in Baltimore, they were into house. Started
Mm-hmm.
getting heavily in the house and what they call Baltimore club music.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah, that's my connection. When I went to thousands of clubs, bro, every weekend. The
Wow.
Paradox, Hammerjacks, Godfrey's, Odell's, and people know DC, Chicago's, East Side, Zanzibar, DC Live, Triples up in Silver Springs. Now we talking 87, 88, 89. We was partying, bruh,
Wow.
all over that place. It was, partying every goddamn weekend. Me and the homie, we was party. My friends was in the house. They was house dancers. I was in
Okay.
the hip hop, and sometimes I would go out there and pop. They be like pop fish, and I go out there and pop. People be laughing and shit. They be like, "Hey, he's a really good popper." But yeah, man.
That's funny. Okay. Okay.
Even when I would do hip hop, I would incorporate some popping into it from time to time.
I
Yeah, yeah,
see.
yeah.
Wow, you
Yeah.
yeah, you are such a blend of styles and sounds, genres, and of different times, East Coast and West
Yes.
Coast. It
And
makes sense. Yes.
I was
Yes.
heavily into dancehall in the 80s and early 90s. So I was
Wow.
always at dancehall parties and juves and carnivals. To this day, I love to dance. So I love to pop the dancehall. So
Yes.
I'm used. It's comfortable for me to pop the dancehall.
Yes.
So
Yes. Okay. So so then, back to the 2000s. Now you said, you're in Times Square, you're teaching Big Mike, your other students are coming and you're teaching them. What would you say was like the next moment or in your journey that was like the next step maybe or the next highlight, would you say?
from that point on, when you said
Yes,
what was the next highlight?
the next step in your journey where it's like, okay, because I know you said you didn't travel yet, or you went to Montreal, and I know you
Yeah, I
were.
went to Montreal. I was just going back and forth from New York to Montreal at the time, and then in the winter or fall of '08, I came here to Holland.
Holland, right in '08.
Yeah, I first
Oh,
came over here then, and I had left Montreal, New York, but when I came over here to in Holland, and uh when I met the that's they didn't know who I was really. So when I went to a lot of studios in different places and stuff. When I
Hmm.
got known over here as a teacher, I was telling them about Montreal. No dancer in Montreal was popular yet, none of them.
Hmm.
But I already knew. I was
Hmm.
like, wait till y'all see my students from Montreal and Big Mike. And they was like, who the hell is Big Mike? I'm
Eh.
like, he would destroy everything in Europe. Trust me. You know, and they was like, we don't know. I'm like, yeah, he don't battle. He's not into that. And
Yeah.
let me see, oh 08, oh 09. Oh 09, oh 10 is when Montreal took off. Green went to,
Okay.
Green went to LA and tore their ass up. And
Yes.
Monster Pop and Venom came over here for Just a Boot. And people were
Oh.
calling me from Just a Boot. Yo, Fish, your students are here. They fucking ridiculous. They crazy, man. Are you
Nice.
serious? And then after that, my name just got really big over here in this part of in Holland. And then in 012, they asked me to judge Just the Boot.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Because of
Wow.
Monster and Green and them. They kept asking Monster and Green and them, who the hell teach y'all? Who the hell teach y'all this stuff?
Yeah.
They kept saying Fish, Fish. And they was like, where Fish is? And they was like, he lives in Holland right next to Paris. They was like, really? And so, that's how I met Bruce and some other dancers and stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Would you say that from what I'm hearing, you've had such successful students, and is teaching something that you just feel passionate about, or what would you say? It just again, you such successful students you've had from all over the world. What do you contribute that to that success?
I think now let me rewind this. I never knew I was a dance teacher. Just
Hmm.
didn't. I never knew. It just
Okay.
happened. It just happened, and it happened progressively. Because they were just calling me. Everybody in New York was like, "You the baddest motherfucker. You got to travel." And I'm like, "Travel? Look, I have a job. I'm working.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Nah, Fish." So I had a lot of students motivating me, and as some of them begin to travel, they kind of put me out there.
Right. Right.
You know, because my whole intention was never really to teach. It just happened. And so the answer to your question is, I think a lot of people say I know how to break shit down.
Hmm.
And I think because of my background of different genres of music, different, I can teach I know so many styles of popping and moves, and I'm able to teach a lot of it.
Hmm.
And I'm just ultra into teaching, bro. I take
Wow.
it very serious, and I'm very hard on some of my students.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Okay.
and the thing about my teaching is I teach according to people's culture, background, physical makeup. If you're
Hmm.
big, you have no business trying to scoop over and trying to do Romeo twist.
Okay.
If you're
Right.
big and long, you should know how to use your torso, your body. You should know how to control your body. So I'm able to teach people to be themselves.
Right.
Very well. And that's my specialty, I believe.
Nice. Right. Because everyone's different. All the students you have are different. They all express themselves in their way, like their qualities.
Is that Money B?
Yes, Money B's here too. Yes.
That's my brother. Love
Yes.
Money B. Peace, Money.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I know there's a question here, Adrian Lobo. He said the next question is a personal one, and of course, if you want to answer, if you don't have to. Why was he said you were angry at a big popping battle in LA 2009-10? How the West was won. I think Fish was trying to battle some OGs. Or
No, I wasn't trying to battle no OGs. It's a long story, but somebody was supposed to show up and they didn't show up. And I
oh,
had a little bit too much to drink at that time. And I
gotcha,
went crazy. So that's what happened. Okay? I
gotcha.
wasn't trying to battle no OGs. I was supposed to battle one OG, and I think y'all know who that is because it ended up happening. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I just got a little bit out of hand that day, and that's what happened. That's all.
Right,
There was some
right,
real motherfucking, excuse my language, some real hood ignorant nigga shit
right,
that
right.
went down. But
Okay. All
that was
right.
for at that point in time because it was high energy of a confrontational shit going on at that moment. But we
Yeah.
passed that now. That was
Right.
what,
Oh,
2010. Yeah, that's a good question, though. I hope I cleared that clarified that up with y'all. I was just in battle mode, but I
mm.
was also in drink mode. I had too much to drink. I'm
Right,
just
right.
being honest.
Yes,
I
yes,
had too much to drink, you
yes.
know, and it shit
Okay.
just got out of hand.
Got you, got you.
Who said what?
Uh,
Oh, I see. If you figure it out,
you Google, YouTube, Facebook, you can research. It's there. You can
I
find
love
it.
you too, Money B. That's my dogs, Money B. All love over here, bro. San
Nah.
Jose and his house.
So
That's my dog. I love Money B. Dope
I
ass
like
dancer, man.
I like to ask you, Fish, from not traveling to now traveling all over the world, man. Like I know even I have friends in Taiwan that they've mentioned your name as well. Like what do you think what have you learned? What have you taken away from now seeing different cultures, different countries from before not exploring? Like how has that impacted you?
Can you repeat that question again? The
So,
first
so
one.
from right, so from not traveling, you were in West Coast, New York, to now going all over the world, Taiwan, the Netherlands, everywhere. How has that impacted you? What have you gained from that experience of exploring the world?
I gained some great friends. Some
Mm.
very, very great friends from all over. Culturally, because I'm into cultures. I'm into a lot of conspiracy shit. I'm into a lot of cultural things. I'm into a lot of history. I study a lot of history. So
Wow.
that helped me meet Aborigine people in Taiwan and meeting so many different people, the pygmy people, the Negritos in the Philippines. So
Mm.
it's just not dance with me. I'm just like traveling so much because I love culture. I
Wow.
love history. And
Mm.
that's more than the reason why I travel, more than dancing, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Dance is just a lot of times I'm not even teaching when I'm traveling. I'm a street performer. I street perform.
Hmm. Okay.
So, I'm a hitter. So
Yeah.
that's what we call street performing in New York. We call it hit.
A hit. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm
Okay.
a hitter. So yeah,
Wow.
that's basically it. Everything is not about dancing. It's just that through dances, I try to separate a lot of stuff because I end up gathering a lot of personal friends in a lot of countries I travel. Like I got Jet. I know you sure you met Jet in Taiwan. Did you meet Jet?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So we're very
Right.
close to this day. And I have a lot of people in different places that I'm very Crazy Beans in the Philippines. Him and Mother Lima, we're very close. So I
Wow.
got very, very connected people I'm very close with. And
Wow.
yeah.
If I may ask, how do you like living outside of the USA? Do you like
Oh,
you're in Holland,
I
right?
don't like I don't like America. So
So you're
once I
like I'm
started
out. I'm
traveling,
good.
I got fed up with America and all this bullshit immediately. And I never wanted to come back if I could. But I had my son. I had to come back for him for a while
I see.
as he started getting older. Once he got older, I'm like, I'm good. So I haven't traveled in 5 years. So a lot of new generation don't know me. I just started traveling last year. So when I came over here, it's a lot of new kids. They don't really know me. A
I
lot of new generation don't even know. I go to Popping Forever. A lot of kids don't even know who I am. They know of me, but they don't know who I am. So it's just like I'm reconnecting with a newer generation.
right. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I like to also. I don't think I asked this, but in the beginning, but where did the name Fish come from?
Oh, in the Bronx in the mid late '70s, a friend of mine's named Anthony Gabadon. We were out on the playground. And I was very athletic. I'm very fast. Not now. I'm an old ass man, an older man. But I was very fast, and I could. I was a football player. I could cut. I could jump cut real fast. So I would
Oh.
make this funny face. When I run it, and they was like, "Hey, motherfucker, look like a fish. He look like a fish."
That's
So since
funny.
about 8 years old, that's always been my nickname, Fish.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was
I
because
love.
of the way I ran, and this funny flat fish face I would make. They would say, and they start calling me Fish, and it just stuck.
Wow. That's. I love that. I love that.
That had nothing to do with dancing. That was just a
No-
nickname I
right.
obtained. Yes.
Okay. Um, throughout, since your man, so many journeys, so many battles you've done, and through your life, and seen so many dancers, are there any memorable battles that you like? You're like your favorite, like you've had a favorite exchange, or even a battle that you saw. Are there any that really stuck with you throughout time? That was like a favorite one.
You talking about in my travels? Nah,
No.
not
Okay.
really. Nah.
No.
I see some nice battles and confrontations, but
Hmm.
nothing actually like really stuck out. Now, if
Hmm.
you ask me what dancers were so stuck out, it's been a few.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Who would be some of those dancers that have stuck out that you've seen?
Green, of course, when he came out.
Hmm.
MT Pop now. Crazy Beans.
Hmm.
Tempo was incredible.
Tempo. Hmm.
He was when Slick started teaching him, he was incredible. Frantic was really good. Is
Hmm.
really good. And a few other people I really, really like. They stuck out to me. I probably can't think of right now. But it's been a lot of dancers, bro, that never made it in the popping scene. They were the best poppers I saw. A lot of poppers
Wow.
in New York and different places. They just wasn't being accepted because they wasn't boogalooing.
Right. Right.
So I see some badass Venom Green Tea. What'd he say?
Oh, can you
Can you
talk
talk?
more about the footwork styles that you taught to Venom and Green Tech? Does he have? Do you have a name for this style? How did you develop it? Any tips to get into it?
Um, some of it I call the fishaloo. Uh,
Officially.
yeah. I just have different versions of my footwork depending on what style I'm doing. See, I can animate footwork at the same time. I can do robot. You'll never see it on video. I don't put it on video. I can do robotics and footwork at the same time. So my footwork is to connect, to travel, to be able to move and be original and look unique. Um, yes, I have. How did you develop it? I developed footwork. That was the first dance I ever did in my life. Was footwork.
Mm,
So footwork comes very, very, very natural to me. I
okay.
could do footwork to dancehall. I could do footwork to house, hip
Nice.
hop, popping, to different genres of music because
Nice.
it's just a natural movement for me.
Hmm.
Um, and that's basically how I develop it. But says any tips on how to get into it? Only tips you're gonna get how to get into footwork, you have to come train with me.
Hmm.
I,
Hmm.
well, I mean, who else does footwork when they pop?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ain't many.
Yeah. Right.
And
Right.
most of them learned from me. And most of them got shit from me from my student, Kite.
Kite.
Um, yeah, he learned from my student. And then lied
Oh.
and said, and I'm being honest, he lied and said he didn't get it from my student. And I told him, well, teach it. Break the shit down. Oh, it's crazy legs. I'm like, that's not crazy legs. Pete shit don't look nothing like that, bro. That's
Interesting.
that's my shit you're doing. That's why
Oh.
you can never. I never taught him. He learned from my student. So so he can't teach it because he didn't learn directly from me. He only learned a portion, and he took the portion and went to a whole nother level with it. Fucking phenomenal with it. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
you're doing my shit. A
Who?
lot of people people back then know that. A lot of new people don't know that. And Kite's not as popular as he was back then
Right.
anyway. But yeah. So anybody you see doing footwork probably came through my lineage.
Right.
Some
Right.
will recognize and some won't. You know
Wow.
what I mean? Yeah.
Wow.
But
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Um, Let me see.
That's like my how could you say my standout shit?
Yes. Yeah.
That's like like You know when you see somebody doing some clean, nice ass footwork, it 9 times out
Right.
of 10 it came from me, or the mindset of it came from one of my students or something. If they weren't around me, so
Wow. Wow. Oh, well, that's an incredible
because
contribution. Yeah.
it's only one other style of footwork in popping, and you know what that is?
Hmm. What is that?
That's Pete's crazy legs.
Okay. That's the only
So
other style, footwork
who you
style.
see doing footwork?
Yeah, I'm thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, it's nobody doing footwork when they pop on a continuous basis. You might have people that can do some things in a small portion, but I could go all day with footwork. My students can go all day with footwork because I broke foundational stuff down. Can you close that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
you can't get around it. And plus, as soon as I see it, I know where you got it from, or I know
Right.
it's mine anyway because I know my foundational shit. So
Wow.
yeah, the footwork.
Okay.
If you want to learn footwork, you're gonna have to come to me.
Got to go to the source. Okay. Cool. Cool.
Pretty much.
My last question, and again, if there's anyone that's watching that you have a
Anybody
question
got
in
any more
mind,
questions?
if you have a question,
Namco. Yeah, Lobo reach fish to get it. There is no secret. Tell him Namco. And it's nobody that can do that popping. And I got new versions of it now.
hmm.
Yeah, because I never put out my animated footwork shit.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm gonna start putting it out now, so people can really identify like this is unique and it's mine. And I
Wow.
will share if you respectful and you
Right.
truly want to learn it. I will share.
Nice.
So yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Any questions, anybody?
So while I'll ask a question, and in the meantime, while I'm asking this question, if there's anything anyone here wants to ask, think about it and write it in the comments. My question is, moving forward. I mean, now we're in 2025. Where are you at right now when it comes to your journey with this art?
My journey right now is to try to get people to do productions and get on stage. There is no
Oh,
popping show in the world. Everyone just battling. Popping is not just for battling. Popping is to be on stage. We performed when we were young. We practiced all week long and we went on stage on the weekends.
wow.
And it's
Okay.
more money in performing.
Right, right.
Nobody has a goddamn group putting together choreography, theater, or shows with popping. Popping
Mm.
is theatrical. It's the most theatrical shit that you could ever possibly do. What is wrong with people? We
Yeah.
just refuse to get on stage.
I see.
Everybody, I want to battle. I want to do workshops. I want to do this judge solo. I'm like, dude,
Bring it
where's your
to
show? No
bring
one
it to the
has a.
main world. Show the
No one
world.
in the popping world has a show, bro. Nobody.
Hmm. Wow. Okay.
Think about it. Who has a group that's popping that's doing a show headlining? Yeah, see,
Yeah. I
this
don't
is a problem,
like.
man.
Yeah. Like I know like there's poppers that will do like they'll collaborate with a theater modern group, but not something that's a only popping
That's
show that is traveled.
I have a theater show. And
Mm.
we're trying to get funding for it because we're doing it on our own. Because if you go through these theater people, they want to control
Like
your
the
shit.
expression of it, right?
Yeah, no. I hired a director, a theater director to go through because I never did theater. He showed me how to stand, how to position
Nice.
myself. So
Nice.
yeah, and it's not no popping in the theater show.
Mm.
It's robotic animation, less dancing than you. It's theatrical.
Right.
I'm doing a theatrical show. So
Okay.
I'm trying to lead by example to a degree, but I
Hmm.
want to see some young poppers come up, put the group together, and perform. We need to get
Yes.
on that goddamn. We need to get on that goddamn stage. This was
Mm.
popping, bro. You got so many diamonds, so many shit you could do with popping, bro.
Right. There's so many.
Pantomime, mime. You could do a whole strutting show, a whole robotic show. You can mix it,
Yeah.
glides.
It's like the
Popping is
ultimate,
huge.
like the ultimate illusions. So many possibilities.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Namco. Love you, man. Namco
Yeah.
was there in Montreal. He was one of the first ones
Wow.
that was there when I came to Montreal. So he knows the whole story. It's all love for my people. And plus, I'm judging Joke this year. Well, next year.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a very popular event. That's really talked highly of. Joke that
Yeah.
event.
It's probably top five biggest event in the world right now
Wow.
because it's a
Okay.
week festival. So yeah,
Wow.
man. So
That's
yeah, it's
okay.
going down. So it's good to see like Monster Pop and Venom get older and come and show me so much love because maybe not at that time they didn't understand what they were getting, and now since they traveled the world and they see, they's like, wow. They come to me and they be like, you really taught us some shit, man.
Wow.
Like you really put that shit on us.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yep.
Wow. My last question I like to ask is what for people that are watching this video, the current generation and for future generations, what is something you would like to leave them with? What are some words you would like to leave them with?
Be unique, original, and learn not to follow. And please, a group of people get on that stage. You will represent this dance in a higher level that it hasn't been represented in the last 25 years. We have to get on that stage. I want to see some young people put some choreography together, put together a nice show and headline. Like billboards. This group is going to be here at this theater, at this place worldwide. Like put together a real popping show and take it across the world and represent this culture so the younger people and other people can see it. Because right now we only seeing battles and workshops. Like really,
Right.
everybody can't be a teacher,
Right.
but that's where the money's at right now. To
Right.
be honest with you,
Right.
if you want to build your name, you build your name, you battle, and you go teach. Like, but everyone's not a teacher, bro. You
Right.
know, you get on that stage, you can make plenty of money performing. If you got a good show, you're gonna make a good living, a good
Right.
living. People don't understand that though. You might have to start a little small and build it up, but you'll be fine if you put together a show, man. I want to see not no popping and b-boy show. I want to see a popping show.
A popping show. Okay.
Yes, just poppers, like getting it, doing different elements. And I think this is the All right, man, Namco, take care, brother. I think this. Anybody got questions before we get off? But I think this is the biggest thing in popping right now. It
Mm.
needs to get back on that stage because we were on the stage when we were young. We performed, and I'm sure a
Mm.
lot of people from my generation and before can tell you that we performed a
Mm.
lot, and it's still market for performances for poppers. It's no one's doing it.
No one's doing it.
No
Hmm.
one. Most people not even thinking about it.
Right.
So I'm
Right.
trying to put it in their head, like, we all put together a nice show and represent popping.
Hmm.
I think it'll do the culture some really, really good.
Yes. Yes. Where do you see so would you say right now in the popping culture it's just battles? That's the main focus right now in the popping world?
Yeah, but bro,
Yeah.
popping is dying, right?
And then I haven't really reflected on, I mean, when I think about it, I know right now the Red Bull dance your style is a big thing in the all over the world, but it's more like all style dancing, all different styles of dance. It's not popping specifically. Um, so you're
Bro,
saying popping is dying right
oh
now?
no, no, no. Listen, I'm gonna break this down to you. There is no popping, no popping big communities in Europe, period. Popping's dead all over Europe, bro. A lot of people probably don't realize that ain't here. There is no popping communities in Europe like that. It's
What
like
about uh-huh.
it's like in the limbo a little bit. It started to go boom boom. Now it's starting to come up a little bit. But in Europe, everyone's running to China.
China? What's going on in China? The money. Oh, okay.
Pop is
Huh.
dead in Asia.
It's dead in Asia?
Completely dead, bro.
I thought that's where like it was the most no electric
Only thing,
boogaloo and
only thing popping going on in Asia is China, bro. And
China.
the little pockets that they have in Korea a little bit. Japan's dead. All of Southeast Asia's dead.
Oh
All
my.
of Eastern European is dead. All the Western European is dead.
You know, it's interesting. Even it seems like in the West Coast as well, there are events, of course, but it's not how it was in the 2000s. It's not at that level.
You got more animation events coming up now and waving events in Europe than you got just popping or something. You know, all
Right.
styles. Like now, popping forever. It did have 300 poppers this year.
Okay. Popping
So
forever. Okay.
yeah, but maybe about it was about 240, 250 last year. So another extra 50 poppers, but like a small
Mm.
percentage of them came from the U.S.
Mm. I see.
About 15 poppers came from the U.S. this year.
Wow. Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
which was really strange because we never had. And so I give a shout out to Breeze Lee and Wifey for and Sweet Pea Son,
Mm.
Amani. All of them came out to represent, and J Rock, peace to J Rock. All of them came out to represent the U.S. So,
Mm.
and they got a platform of young poppers coming up. So I'm so happy,
Right.
that somebody's like grooming these poppers,
Wow.
the U.S. get a chance to rep some shit. But yeah, popping's dead, bro.
Wow.
People,
That's huh.
people don't know it because they see all this shit on the internet. But it's no poppy communities in Europe like that. The last big pop community they had in Europe was in Poland, bro.
Poland. What's going on in Poland? Or what was
Well, they was doing all these camps and stuff
okay.
and everything, but that kind of died out because they didn't want to diversify, in my opinion.
Hmm.
They wanted
Interesting.
to keep it to whatever, and night they ran out of dancers, bro.
Wow. That's crazy.
See, if you just in this category, you got this certain group of people. Then after 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, my sister's right here. She's from Poland. She know
Oh,
what's
okay.
going on. Yeah.
Wow.
She I met her when I first came to Holland. We've been best friends ever since.
Wow.
But she's from Poland. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. She
Okay.
know all the dancers in Poland.
Not fully.
Huh?
Not
What?
fully.
You, but yeah, yeah, true. So it's no community of popping in Europe.
Wow.
Oh
That's
yeah, Belgium ain't got none. Holland, yeah. France, they
What about Paris? Like, the
you
Nelsons and
didn't hear
the
me. That was the third one. I said France.
oh
They all ran to China.
oh right, right, right. Wow. Okay.
Everybody ran to China. Remember, if you remember, like 8, 9 years ago, before the pandemic, all the battles they was having in Singapore.
Yeah, yeah, that was right.
That they're
Wow.
done. Malaysia is because most of Southeast Asia they don't have the money to.
Hmm.
Singapore is rich. They got
Sing
money in Singapore. Yeah. In
okay.
China, got penny paper. Japan, they just don't know where they going at right now. It's just because they had it first. So they
Right.
just like
Right.
Korea. So right now everyone's running through China. Once that dries up, I don't know what the hell's pop is going to be at in the next 5 years. I ain't even
Do,
saying 10 years. I don't know what pop is going to be at in the next 5 years.
do you think because now there's more waving anime, there's becoming more specific like style like specific styles coming out? Do you think maybe that's going to be the next thing, like just more animation,
Yeah,
more
I think so.
waving?
That's already seemed to be the route that it's going.
Hmm.
Because in the Eastern Germany, they got big waving communities and stuff. They told me,
Right.
and then Blondie's doing this
The
animation.
animation. Yep.
Yeah, Blondie. That's a good friend of mine too. I love me and Blondie are real tight.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's my boy. So yeah, so yeah, I see that. But did you see the interview with Pete and King Mike?
I saw parts of it on Instagram, but what part
Oh,
specifically?
they specifically spoke about Pete says that they not they don't invite him to judge these other styles, but
Animation
they
with
invite other styles to come and judge next to him. So and
yes, he.
this is what's going on right now. You know, this
Hmm.
is what's going on. So
Right, he because he was saying that he's a popper, he's a popper, and he judges popping events. But then there's people that are judging popping events that do waving and animation, but he doesn't judge waving or animation events.
well, the reason why is because to be honest with you, all of it's popping. We always called all that shit popping. We never separated the dance. If I came out and I animated, you came out, you had the best waves. Who won? The motherfucker that had the best moves.
Okay, okay.
We never separated the dance, bro. The dance was never separated until 1998.
That wow, specific. That's a specific time.
Yeah, that's when they started going into separating. You have to pop. You must do this. You must do that. You must do that.
Right,
When we all grew up, and we didn't give a shit what style you did. If you got smoke, you got smoke.
right,
If some
right.
motherfucker came out there, King Tutton on your ass, boom, and you couldn't answer,
You're right.
his touch beat you, bro. This is what it is. His touch
So
beat
in a,
you. So,
so in a sense, it sounds like it kind of backfired by trying to make it very this is popping. Now it's like, well, yeah, now you can't go to waving and tutting and animation because you said this is it. So
yeah,
you can't
yeah.
like if it was kept popping as all of the movements that came from it, then it would have been able to.
And let everybody just like, look, whoever's clean, good, and better at that round. See, we judge the moment.
Hmm.
When we judging battles, we judge the moment.
Hmm.
What I mean by we judge the moment, if that motherfucker came out with some badass touch and you couldn't answer, you lost that battle, bro.
Hmm.
You know. So
Hmm.
sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, and it's caused a lot of confusion. Yes, it's caused a lot of confusion because you got a lot of people from these places that don't understand the dynamics of the collective or the individual of the styles.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you have what you do transitions. So if I robot into a puppet, from a puppet into a wave, from a wave into a twistle flex, I just transition four different styles and moves.
Hmm.
You see? So now if you know how to transition from move to move and style to style, if you were taught that way, then you could go into these forms of dance or popping.
Hmm.
But if you're just taught to do this and you're just taught to do that.
Right.
And another thing, back in the days, poppers had specialties. Which is why you had Puppet Master, Tut Master, King
Yes.
Boogaloo Tut. So these are specific styles, people are specialties. Your name representing what you did. I'm hit master. I'm a hitting master. That's not all I do,
Right.
but that's a representation of what I'm trying to represent. So we had specialties back in the days, you know. Yeah. So
Hmm.
you know, any more questions, anybody?
Any last questions? This is the moment. Here's the moment to ask them. Let's see. Anybody? Any takers? If oh no, going once, going twice. Adrian Lobo. Anything? I know you were asking some questions today. Anything from yourself?
That's the
Give.
first interview I did in a long time. I was supposed to do Cool Boys, but we could never connect.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, we got some questions. Someone asked, "How should a popping community be?" That's a very. I don't. How would you want to answer that, Fish?
Say that again.
Someone asked, "How should a popping community be?" It sounds very deep.
That depends on the culture and where you're located because different cultures do things different. You
Hmm.
know, that's all depending on where you're at and where you look, because it's all according to how people come together
Hmm.
to
Nice.
represent popping. It's all. You know, how y'all gonna come together and connect and build?
Mm,
That's what it's about.
got it. Connecting and building together. Okay.
Right. Yes.
Uh,
So, Fish, do you think USA has the best? So this was the same question that was asked to Pete by
mm.
King Mike. One of them, besides the one I was just talking about, which is a very interesting question. Are the best poppers? First of all, they do not pop in America. Let's get it. Let's clarify that and get it clear.
Oh,
As a
okay.
whole, there are no poppers in America. You have pockets of poppers in America. You understand? But as a whole, America's a big ass country, okay? With lots
Yes.
of states and
That's true.
cities and
Right.
shit.
Right.
So that popping is not a popular dance in America for
Mm.
almost 40 years now.
Wow.
And let me tell you why. This was the question that was not answered and how you could answer the question. Europe and Asia and the world, there's some deep shit I'm about to say to y'all. They look at popping as a dance, as dancing. Americans, non-dancing Americans, they look at popping as an illusion.
Mm.
And let me tell you why they look at popping as an illusion. We never tried to dance when we were popping when we was young, number one. Number
Mm.
two, when the world saw Michael Jackson doing this shit, what was he doing?
The moonwalk.
Illusions.
Illusion.
Backsliding.
Right. The back. Yeah.
Round moonwalk. He was, when the world saw Taco and breaking, shrimp and breaking, what was they doing? Animating, waving. It was nobody trying to dance, bro.
Mm.
So when Americans, and I talked to a lot of Americans, and I showed them videos for, and they was like, what the fuck is they doing? Because they do not see popping as a dance. They see it as an illusion.
Hmm.
And this is the biggest gap that we have.
Wow.
Europe and Asia was told popping was a dance. You have to dance. You have to dance. Okay, if you have to dance, teach them how to dance. Because a lot of these people don't know how to dance. And they look goofy to me trying to dance. I can clearly see you're not a dancer, but you're trying to groove and dance and accomplish something that ain't comfortable to you. You're
Hmm.
supposed to be comfortable when you're popping. You're supposed to be able to fit in who and what you are. And
Hmm.
this is what you don't see. The reason why I know all this, I know how Americans think, and I know how foreigners think, and how the art was given to them. It was given to them as a dance. You have to dance, you have to groove. Think about it. Everyone's, I'm trying to dance, I'm trying to groove. Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Marcus don't see popping like that. Frantic, Slim Boogie, what Slim Boogie dances. Fran, a lot of
Hmm.
poppers trying to dance, bro. They're not dancers. They're not into dancing. I street
Huh.
perform in America, and my son he hates popping, and my son can dance his ass off. He think
He hates
my
pop.
son think popping's a joke. The black young kids in America think popping's a joke, bro. Whether y'all know it or not, what they do with popping, they take moves. The Bone Breakers took moves. The Jukers took moves. The Turfers took moves. The Crumpers took moves. Everyone takes different moves from popping. They
Uh-huh.
don't want to straight up dance and pop. They don't. They're not into that. So I hope that answers your question and opens your mind on the level how they think in age. I mean in overseas and how we think as Americans,
So
because
over.
that's how we. Huh? Go ahead.
So,
I'm sorry.
so so if I'm getting this, overseas sees popping as a dance. In the USA, it's not seen as a dance, but more of an illusion.
Yes.
And then, so then when it comes to the actual, when it comes to the dance style, overseas has better, higher level poppers than USA.
Yes. Because they do it. They
They're,
into it. They trying to learn it. They into it. They not. They don't. They the average American that dances ain't into. Don't know shit about popping, bro. They know how to do a wave, how to do some touch and stuff. But if you ask them where popping came from, what's this, what's that, my son performs with Tick a lot. Snap.
Okay.
My son performs with OGs. He do not like popping. He likes when I do stuff, but a little bit of stuff. And my son never really seen me pop. He just seen some videos because I don't really pop when I'm around him like that. And I don't take him to battles and stuff.
Yes.
So, my son's a Baltimore club dancer and hip hop dancer.
Hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
what he's into. He's 25 years old, so he's not a little kid.
Right. Right.
You know. A lot of inner city kids, they would never be into popping ever.
Hmm.
It doesn't intrigue them. Popping intrigues foreigners than it intrigues us. We're not intrigued by popping anymore.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. So wait, was popping ever a dance in the USA, or it just changed to illusions?
Nah, we had people that did some form of dancing when they popped. Now, see, let me be more specific. Let's talk about more. I'm more South Central.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the styles and moves and was in South Central was based off of styles and moves, how to execute them.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So when you watch Taco, what did you see?
Right. The cobra, he would. Right. The snaking,
Boom.
wave.
When you watch Shrimp, what did you see?
Right. His like animated movement. Right.
When you watch Breaking and Entering, what was the
Right.
Dominoes doing? They was
Right. Oh
doing
yeah.
their routines. Yeah,
Right.
it was dancey a little bit, but because it was a routine. But when they bust off into their solo, they was into the Boogaloo was more dancier. Jazzy
Hmm.
and his crew and others, they were more dancier with the
Ah.
with the movement. But in those days, that style was not that popular,
Right.
which is why you don't see any OGs that Boogaloo.
Hmm. Right. Right. Wow.
So yeah, so I try to get people to think like look at it from both sides. Like in America, our way of thinking, and especially from the two. So you have a resurgence of popping from '98 all the way up to now. See, now in the early 2000s, there were no black people popping, bro.
Hmm. Wow. Okay.
You can count them on one hand. Popular, Legend, Tempo, and one or two others.
Right. It was mostly, yeah, predominantly like Asian, European when it came to the whole world, right?
There was no. Look at all my students. Monster Pop,
Hmm.
Venom, Green, Big Mike, the whole Atomic Hitters, all black. There was on the East Coast. I started to spark the movement of black. Buddha Stretch came to me and said, "Fish, there's no black people popping." And
Hmm.
I got a bunch of black people popping. And I started putting
Ah.
Austin 10 and them. He was like, "Oh, wow, let me be down. Let's get down." So yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Was so you see what I'm saying? You got to start thinking about things like this. How did it get to this point in America?
Right. What
America was
happened?
never America was never genuinely interested in popping in the 2000s. It's just
No.
pockets, You have pockets of people that got interested
Right.
or saw it and got into it and clung to a group
Right.
or whatever, and then it just built from there. Such as
Wow.
like Popular, J Rock, and all these people. They start coming in,
Right.
and people start pulling in from different places,
Yes.
and start going to LA, and then later on New York started getting popular with the popping and different things. But nah, bro, there was no America never had. See, if the inner cities in America went back into popping, then it would blow up.
Hmm. Then it would become a dance. People would want to
Yes,
be
but
doing it. Yes.
yes, they
Hmm.
just not interested in it.
It's not
So
interest. Yeah.
it's
Wow. You know.
collectively, you have certain people or certain things, but they
Right.
collectively they're not interested in the
Not
no damn.
interested. Wow.
No.
Yeah, so this is man, this is very fascinating. This perspective, like what you just mentioned, how overseas sees the dance, sees it as a dance, USA doesn't see it as a dance. Um, what are other differences that you've noticed or found out how overseas views popping versus USA? Are there any other things that you've noticed of the difference of looking at it and going about the dance and
Not really.
hmm
Culturally, yeah, depending on what part of the world you were, like I said, but
hmm
it's just that uh, 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 overseas people just been told just dance, 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 dance,
hmm
and they never got the other aspects of it until recently. In the last 12, 13 years, they started seeing more and more animation and robotic movement. They started tailoring into that. A lot of the newer people and some of the people from back then started getting more into a lot of robotic and animation styles. And now it's getting more and more popular.
Right.
That's about it. I don't see much
Mm.
because they just got thrust told like it's a dance, it's a dance, you must dance, dance, and certain shit wasn't broken down, and they only
Mm.
understand one pocket of it up
Mm.
until social media started getting big. Then they start seeing strutting,
Right. Right.
and they started seeing a bigger broad, the Popper's Picnic, the OGs, anime. I mean, Flat Top, and so
Right.
many others. People they start recognizing. Oh, okay. Now we can see that these are the diverse styles of popping, and it was very diverse dance. But by that time, it was too late
Right.
because they already flooded overseas in their head that you got to dance. Until this day, they think it's a full blown dance, and when I tell some people that, they look at me, they like, "Oh shit!" But then I have to sit and explain it to them, and
Right.
they really understand. Like, oh, we never thought of it that way. I'm like, yeah, look at the dance. Go back and watch all the videos. Wasn't nobody trying to dance. Motherfuckers was moonwalking, gliding,
Yeah. Allude to
throwing waves.
characters, imagination. People
Yeah,
are just yeah.
pantomime, miming,
Yeah.
robotic. Yeah, it was like we was characters. We was Terminators. We were
Right.
all types of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
then in the 2000s, I come back there, everybody over there shaking their ass. I'm like, what the hell? That ain't popping, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all over there shaking y'all ass like y'all really can dance? Can you really dance? Like,
Wow.
okay, go get a girl.
Hmm. Right.
Let me
Right.
see you dance with a girl. And then I
Right.
tell them, okay, let me see you pop dance with the girl. How you
Hmm.
gonna pop with move? Then I show them, then I
Hmm.
show them the dance called the pop. How to
Hmm.
socialize it to dance with a girl. And they looking at me
Yeah.
like, you're really popping with a girl. Like, yeah.
Right. Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, it becomes and like I said, that's from my beginning origins and my dancing origins. I'm able to groove and
Yes.
by the way, when I pop y'all, I don't groove. I'm not into no grooving shit. And don't
Oh.
call my shit groove. My
Oh.
shit is
Okay.
not groove. My shit is funk.
Funk.
Then
Oh.
my
Okay.
shit is funk. I'm not into no goddamn grooving. I do not want to groove because I'm dance when I pop. So a lot of people like, oh, you so groove, your groove is crazy. No, my groove ain't crazy. I don't know nothing about no popping being no groove.
Hmm. So you say
I
it's
know
funk.
dancing as being groove. I don't know nothing about no. I know funk.
Oh.
That's what
Okay.
we call popping funk. When you dancing, you into the rhythm and all into that bass, and you all into the funk. Like
Wow. Okay.
it's here. That funk is here. You feel it when that bass. If you listen to that bass, you're gonna feel that motherfucking funk, and it just takes over your whole vibration of your body. Because that's why I love funk music, and it's my favorite
Wow.
genre of music because I can feel it, I can taste it, I can smell it. You know,
Mm.
is
Wow.
pop is pop essential for popping? What do you mean by that? Oh yeah, yeah. So I guess he's talking about hitting.
Right. That's what I'm gonna guess. I would say.
Yes, the harder you hit, the better the dance looks.
Hmm.
Because popping was meant to be a hard, edgy, hitting style of the dance. Like I said, everyone was told you have to groove. You must dance. You
Mm.
know, it's cool, man. I just want people to understand the dynamics of the the
Right.
dance. To understand it, it's not about just I'm dancing. I must dance and do that. And another thing, I forgot to tell you this: in Asia, particularly in China and in Korea, okay, the Chinese government street dance is athletics.
Oh, okay.
That's why they give them money
Wow,
because
that's great. Wow. Okay.
they want them to do athletics, and they look at street dance as athletic. Which is why
Wow.
you see the Asians dance so fast. They move so fucking fast because everything is athletic to them.
Oh, it's like who can go the fastest? Who can hit the hard? Who can go the
Who
most
can do whatever they
the
do
body?
at a high tempo, fast, and
Physical.
still be on beat or whatever. And that's the way they view poppy, bro.
Man, yeah, the USA does. I mean, to my knowledge, it is not viewed like that at all. So,
No. We're Americans, so we should know that much. We don't look at it like that. And especially I'm not even talking about us, your generation or my generation, a lot of the younger people.
hmm
Because over the last 25 years, you had generations and generations coming in with
hmm
popping, and
hmm
just that Americans just never got back into it like that as a whole. Like I said, you got your pockets, and you had very good poppers. They came out of America, excellent poppers. But it's too far in between. As big as that country is, America should have way more poppers in it than it does.
right. Especially it coming from America, especially it coming from. But
Well, one
uh,
of the biggest reasons is we don't have funk music anymore. So
mm,
funk just complemented popping for some reason.
right, right,
Because when we were hit, the hit was to accent the beat, the snare or the bass line or whatever. It was accenting because
right,
we grew up off funk and then later on electro. So yeah.
right. Wow. Well, man. Well, fish. I mean, I think let's see. Yeah, someone said yeah. Street dance in China is more like a sport. Yeah. So confirming that.
Oh,
Um.
you know how I found out that through
mm.
Jet. Jet works for the
Oh.
Chinese government, and he told me they
Oh.
look at that's why they're giving them all the money because it's a part of athletics now.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That
So
makes
yeah, yeah. So and they move so athletic when they dance, they be
right.
gone, man.
Right. Right. Right.
They be gone. I'd be like, God damn, what's this kid, Jin? You seen
Huh?
this kid, Jin?
Jin?
From Korean, Jin, Jin.
Yes. Crazy legs. His legs are crazy. The way he
Yeah,
goes
that boy,
in and
he
out.
jumping all around me like, you see what I'm saying? They just
Do
athletic and they
uh,
gone with it.
you've heard of you've seen Crazy Duck? I think
Oh
his name
man, I've seen Crazy
is.
Duck. Did you see Crazy Duck when he was in the studio? He ran in the studio. So to the mirrors in the studio, but under the mirrors, but it wasn't no mirrors all the way down to the ground.
Okay.
So it was like about that much space. He ran, kicked off, went back off the wall, and turned around and did some crazy sound like this motherfucker. He crazy.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know crazy stuff.
Okay. Right.
They
I,
crazy man.
yeah. Yeah.
Even hoeing and hosing them when they pop to me, they be gone, man. And all the Koreans, they just woo, 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 woo. I'm like, whoa, 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 man. God damn.
It's like
Slow the fuck down. But
right. 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 Right.
that's the way
Man.
that's the way they move, man. I mean, I like
Right.
a lot of shit they do, but they just don't
But
get
yeah.
the
No.
gist. They
It.
just don't really, really get the gist of popping, and I get it. I
Wow.
get it. I
Wow.
think they,
Well.
I think they're highly skilled and very talented people. They just need to know, really, really learn the foundation of popping, which they don't. They think they do, but they don't have it. And hopefully one day some of them can come to the terms. But a lot of the newer generation in Korea, they doing strutting,
Mm, mm,
robotics. So I see a change now.
right.
I see a
Wow.
change. Yeah.
Well, man, Fish, I want to, I thank you again for this
Oh,
time
thank you.
and, this
Thank you.
such knowledge, such gold information that you just spoke on. And I'm excited for people to watch this over and reference this video as well for the future.
I'm sure they do. And everyone that watched the video, if you disagree or anything or have questions, just inbox me or we can have a chat because I'm here
Yes,
for everyone. And it's just one to grow on. Everyone can just learn and we can just come together and put our minds together and come to an understanding of what this dance is and what does it really represent.
yes, yes. And Lobo, yes, thank you for the questions that you were asking today. Lobo says, thank you, Fish, for sharing all this priceless info. And thank you, Jay, for doing the hosting this, of
I'm
course.
glad
Yeah.
this is out there now because Mike and I are supposed to do an interview because I had sent him a message about the interview he did with Pete, which was a wonderful interview. There's no disrespect to Peter. I'm just trying to give a different perspective of how Americans look at the dance. From me being in America a lot and from me traveling overseas
Mm.
and connecting the two. And that was just my perspective on it. So I hopefully everyone understanding what I was saying. If not, like I said, just inbox me and we can talk.
Yes, conversations. Gotta have conversations. So,
Yes, of
all right,
course.
Fish. Well, have a great rest of your night, man. And yeah, man, it was a
Thank
pleasure.
you. Oh, and one more thing. People, when you watch it, it's all love and let's all come together and have a great time. And I
Yes,
hope to see some of you guys soon. Thank you.
yes, yes. Take care, Fish.
All right, man. Have a great
Peace,
one.
peace. You
Peace.
too.
Peace, man.